Happy Halloween. So far, this is the second week of spooky month, spooky October. Oh God, I love this month. It's my favorite month of the year. I don't know about how you guys are, but I'm having a great day. We got great special guests today. We got Nadia from Horror with Nads, one of the internet's leading specialists in slasher flicks, possession films, and all good movies that are spooky, as well as shows. And also a special guest who is very well known, whom many of you also know, but in order to get him to come around, you got to say his name 3 times. So let's start by bringing on our beautiful guest of honor, Miss Nadia. Hi there, hon. How you doing?
Good. Happy Saturday. Happy spooky month. This is also one of my favorite months as well. How are you, Scooby?
I am doing fine. This is one of my favorite months because it gives me an excuse to dress up for no reason and not, worry about scaring anybody.
Yeah. I'm a fan of costumes as well.
I can dress up in a spooky costume, go to the mall, and nobody will call the cops on me, calling me creepy or anything like that. I can legitimately say, hey, it's October. I'm just having fun. And they can just say, well, she's right. It's costume season.
Yep. Are you dressed? Do you have any interesting costume plans for Halloween?
I asked my niece if she wanted me to join her for trick-or-treating, and she said that she wanted me to come with her. Now, I have like a whole bunch of costumes from my cosplay drawers stuff because I do a lot of cosplay. I think I might break out my steampunk outfit again because I do have a steampunk costume, which I absolutely adore. And I worked really hard on that one. I was going to break out one of my really old costumes, which was a bunny maid. Back in high school, I worked for a Halloween store called Spirit Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the season, they would let you dress up in a costume from the store free of charge. But of course, once you did, it's yours to take home.
Yeah.
I dressed up as a bunny maid. So essentially what I did is I had a maid costume on. I had bunny ears, a bunny tail, and fishnet stockings. And
so kind of like a Playboy bunny, like an old classic. Yeah, but maid.
Yeah, and I remember I was stocking the shelves, and one of the employees was coming in, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "I'm fine now," and I'm like,
"Yeah, that's cool." Any other interesting costumes?
Let's see. I could always dress up as one of my favorite anime characters because I have a whole bunch of different anime costumes. My niece, though, sometimes she likes to pick out my costumes. I have a voodoo doctor costume.
Oh, that's cool.
And which I put together from, once again, working at a Halloween store. Oh, thank you for the gifted membership.
Oh, nice.
James up. Yeah, 10 gifted memberships. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetie. I hope you like that one. You are the first recipient of the Elvira clip. Yes, I'm finally starting to get clips in for my super chats and memberships. So, yes. Thank you for that one, sweetie. So let's get down right to it, and let's say hello to some of the wonderful people here in chat today. We have Lilith. How you doing, sweetie? Devastator, Rio, Fox Hills, of course, Fox Hills had to go take care of some things. St. Hugo, how's it going? Dark Exile. How you doing, sweetie? I hope you're doing well, Exile. Finch King, beep, right back at you. Frostfang, yes, it is. It is Spooktober. It's the Losi, one of the mods with the most. And of course, Tony, man with 91 voices in his head. And as for our other guest, would you like to bring him on, Nadia? I mean, you know how to do it best.
Oh, yes. Wait, do I have it? Oh, I used to have a prop for it. It must be packed up. Okay. Wait. No, there it is. There we go. We got one of these. Beetlejuice.
One second, it's buffering.
I guess in the afterlife, you still have technical difficulties sometimes.
Oh, don't you know it is fucking ridiculous? One moment.
You got problems? Are you literally dealing with so much psychological baggage that you want to die? Maybe you're killing time, trying to figure it out on your own. But if you want the top therapist on the list, so good he's a hypnotist, then call it once, call it twice, 3 times the charm. You got problems, but so do I. We all got problems, so let's chat. It's $2 for the first minute, then it'll cost you an arm and a leg. You know what I mean?
Well, there we go. Sorry. It's very hard to wake up whenever you're doing this full-time YouTube thing while also being dead. I've been on the phone with my manager for like the last 2 decades, and I hate every second of it. Don't like it at all. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how you all doing? Whoa, look at that! Look, second world's strongest or some shit like that. Yeah, I think we got
Hey, Trunks.
We got one for you.
You gotta love Art. He is great.
Oh yeah, the guy's a man after my own heart. But be gentle with it. I know you like to cut shit up.
Yeah, and he'll come up later on, and he'll be coming up soon. But first,
I suppose we should get down to brass tacks.
Yes. Boom shakalaka. We got some slashers.
Oh yeah.
Some of the best ones to have in Halloween too. We got the OGs, you got some of the very unique ones, and then you got some of the funny ones. So, Nadia, what's your view on slashers?
My favorite franchise is Scream. Love it or hate it. So I'm a huge fan of slashers. I think it is probably the most palatable for people to kind of be introduced to horror, because sometimes a slasher doesn't need that much blood. It's just the intensity that leads up to the monster person, whatever you want to call it, leading up to the victim. So
the thrill.
I really like him. It's my favorite.
I think they're fun because slashers are fun because it gives you that intensive, like there are some really good slasher movies where, like you said, they don't need a lot of blood, but they give you the tenseness that you should always be looking over your shoulder.
Yes,
a good one that exerts that is Halloween.
The boogeyman.
You're
Michael
talking
Myers.
about that Mike guy. Yeah, I heard about.
Yeah, Mr. I'm gonna stalk you, and then of course, I saw a meme somewhere of Michael
Quit
Myers.
breathing over my shoulder. There we go. Sorry.
Give me 1 second. I just want to grab
Mike
this.
says I.
I saw a meme somewhere actually of a picture of Michael Myers. He's standing behind the bush where he's stalking I always forget her name. Anyways, the character of the film of Halloween.
Laurie Schobert.
Yes,
Laurie
he's stalking her.
Yeah.
And she's looking behind her, and he's all the way down at the end of the stream. And on the picture, it says Michael Myers practicing social distancing since 1977.
Yeah, Halloween. I mean, there obviously, to me, the birthplace of the slasher is probably Psycho.
Mhm.
But Halloween is a very interesting franchise because of the ups and downs that has gone through. Between Halloween 1 and 2 are the same story. Halloween 2 picks up from the same night. Halloween 3, they decided that they were done with Michael Myers. They wanted to do maybe like an anthology series, take place on Halloween. We get Season of the Witch, and everybody complains, and there's no Michael Myers in it. Which, by the way, Season of the Witch, I think, is a very fun movie to watch during Halloween. I think it captures the essence of Halloween a lot better than some modern day horror movies. And then we go into the revival in the 90s where you get like Halloween, the cult storyline. Then you get Halloween H2O. Come back, we get the Rob Zombie remakes of it, love it or hate it. Then we get I think it's Gordon, is it Gordon Green? I can't remember his last name. The director did Pineapple Express, did the last 3 Halloween movies, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. So it's this franchise has gone through it.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
has.
tell me about it. You go from
It's
being really scary and believable to holy crap, Viking shit. What really?
Yep.
yeah, it's one of
And
those movies where I think of it as like Scream. It keeps going and going and going and going and going, and it's like, is it going to end?
well, I would
Sounds like
recommend
my love life.
if anybody is a fan of Halloween and the franchise, I would actually recommend this book, Horror in Haddonfield. I had the author on my show for a little bit, but it is 20 plus interviews and essays of all the movies in the Halloween franchise. It's very good. So if you're a fan of Halloween, the franchise, or just how movies are made in general, it's very interesting to see the turmoil that this franchise has gone through after the second one.
Well, I suppose I'll put my 2 cents in on it. The best slasher of all time is a guy who knows how to do a witty one-liner after he's done with you. You know, it's a man after my own style, as it were. And that's a little guy by the name of Fred Krueger.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll absolutely laugh riot. Listen. Nothing says, "Hey, this is absolutely fucking terrifying."
he.
You know, without the bad comedy, you have to have the bad comedy.
Yeah, but that's one thing that makes him unique is not so much the comedy, but he takes the things that you love and turns them into absolute horror. And sometimes even kills you with them. Johnny Depp, he dies while having a wet dream. Another guy dies. Another guy who is a severe gamer. I forget which one this was. He gets killed by Freddy Krueger, and Freddy Krueger is using the Nintendo Power Glove while doing it. Freddy's very clever in how he does some things, which I find some of his kills very humorous.
My favorite kills has to be the Roach Motel.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street's another interesting franchise of the ups and downs it's gone through. Initially supposed to be taken seriously, and it's just Robert Englund's performance of it adding the comedic relief that Freddy went from. It's still terrifying, don't get me wrong. We're looking at it back then during the time that these movies were released, but now more of a comedic relief to it. I have a theory on the new Black Phone movie that will be released next week. I honestly think it's a probably unused Nightmare on Elm Street script because the rights for Nightmare on Elm Street have been through hell, similar to Friday the 13th. So I think it was probably just an unused script that they just tweaked a little bit for Black Phone. But that is a theory. That is just my theory on it. I haven't seen anybody else.
It's a theory, guys. It's a film theory. Don't look.
Yes, it's a film theory. Yes, Matt Pat. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a film theory.
Oh.
Yeah, but similar to like Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I was explaining this yesterday. Friday the 13th, I went to Halloween Horror Nights and they have a Jason Voorhees house. They don't have a Friday the 13th house. It's because Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees are 2 different IPs, 2 different licensing rights.
Yeah. Don't worry. he has a little bit.
He's breathing over my back all the damn time.
He has it all. Nadia.
It's all good.
But yeah, continue about your Fright Nights.
Fright Night? What do you mean? Fright Night?
The Voorhees.
Oh,
the
it's just
She was
that
concluding that there were two different franchises.
Yeah,
even though
that
they
it's
had
just
that
gone
little
through
versus
IP.
thing.
Yeah, it's gone through
Yeah.
licensing hell. All three of these franchises. Halloween, not so much, but you got to look at Friday the 13th, the Crystal Lake series that first canceled back on. They don't know what they want to do with any of these franchises.
I never really understood what was going on with Jason. I never really understood the because I mean I know some of them actually have reasons they do what they do in some slasher films, and in some what I mean by I've always wanted to know what triggers him, because he never seems to die, and then when he does kill, he seems to like go back to sleep after he's killed everyone. And then, all of a sudden he'll just wake up again. I've always wondered what triggers that. What triggers him waking up?
I mean, he's supposed to be the ultimate, and is similar to Michael, the ultimate boogeyman, right? Always comes back. People can theorize that it's, he represents different things depending on the time period of these movies being released, but I am not a huge Friday the 13th fan. I love Jason, but to me, I'm not really into the whole zombie killer kind of aspect of it, though I think Jason Goes to Space is hilarious. These movies they start to get hilarious.
I love the android, the guy made his perfect woman, out of a toaster and some spare parts. Yeah.
Quick shout out to Furious Dan, Retro Overkill, for a donation of $5, saying "Hail Scooby Pup," and including Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Oh yeah.
Jason also he represents like a mix of vengeance, right? He's typical, a very like everybody talks about Friday the 13th. I highly recommend everybody go back, watch Sleepaway Camp. I like that more so if you're looking for a slasher where camp counselors are getting kids are getting killed, not camp counselors, but teenagers are being killed. It's I think it's an underrated series. There's like 3 of them, I believe.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend Sleepaway Camp over Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've just never seen it. Like today, I was just going through my computer setting up for today, and I had my TV playing in the background on Shudder, and this movie popped up of this group of I have no idea what the name of it was, but it was a group of bank robbers. They were stuck in a cornfield surrounded by scarecrows that were murderous.
Yeah, Shudder likes to finance and put out the best.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you pay $8.99 and you get all of the schlock that you could have ever. You bring in a group of friends on your member movie nights, and you laugh at the crap. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty much the scarecrows were killing people and then turning them into scarecrows. It was like, and it made no sense to me. They never do make sense, but still, it was like, how, wait, what, how, who brought them? Who made them in the first place? And they don't even say that.
Sometimes answering to things like that are better left unsaid. It allows the audience to kind of build the lore in their head and the imagination into their head of what the background story are on these characters. And sometimes movies like horror, especially horror has a lot of subgenres, but there's just what I like to call like gore fest, where it's just about killing. It's just about like getting the most grotesque thing on screen of how you would kill someone. Final Destination is a mainstream franchise that's similar to that. It's never a happy ending. It's just like how severe can we make these deaths on screen? It's the shock value that they're looking for.
Well, I mean, that's one thing that I can say about Damien Leone and his up-and-coming talent with Art the Clown. You want to talk about some over-the-top practical effects? Oh my God, good.
Yeah, speaking of which, why don't you bring
Chef's
on?
kiss.
Yeah. Speaking of which, why don't we bring him up next, since he does seem to fall into that gore factor category.
Oh yeah. Good man, that Art feller. He sold his soul for some rock and roll, and left everybody with a splitting headache. It was great stuff.
Now, you either love this series or you hate this series.
I hate the people that don't love this series.
I don't like 1. I don't like majority of 2. It's not till the third act of 2 that I enjoy it, and I did enjoy 3. So I'm a little weird on this series. Because I have over 13 years of being a special effects artist in Hollywood, so I've done it all: gore, all this stuff. Used like meat, used things that smelled, created some weird fucking things. I'm sorry, didn't mean to swear. Some weird things, and
No, continue.
And I'm not a huge fan of just the shock value of some of these movies, but I do like that starting towards number 2, we get an actual grounded story instead of just a maniac going around and sawing people in half and such.
Mhm.
That's my favorite kill. It's literally down the middle.
Down the you would say I'm down the middle on this franchise.
Yeah, down the middle.
I liked 3 actually was interesting because not a lot of they weren't I don't think people were expecting what they did when it came to 3. When it came out into theaters, I don't know if you heard this or not. Some people actually left the theater in the middle of the movie. Other people ran out of the theater to go throw up.
People say the same thing about The Substance. People say the same thing about most body horrors. It's a marketing tactic, to be honest. I truly don't believe. Go ahead. Sorry.
And others did not like what they did because of some, they did take some religious factors in there.
There's a theology storyline going through, but number 2 had the same thing. It was just not in your face right away. So I get it. And 4, we're supposed to learn even more about art and the lore behind it and stuff. But 2 established that demons existed in this IP.
Yes, it did.
Well, we got a 2-pounder, and I only got 3 clips. I'm sorry about that. He says he's definitely doing a horror movie marathon. Yeah, baby. Well, for me, that's all year round. I remember movie night.
That's something you should be doing from day 1 of October.
Oh yeah.
That's
something you should be doing day 1 in January and ending at like December 31st. Let's be real.
I mean, you should watch horror all year round, but that's just my take on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like starting January 1st, ending December 31st.
Yeah.
Rinse, repeat.
That's just, he's also, the other reason he's saying that, Nadia, is because he knows that he's going to get plenty of showtime during that.
Well, Beetlejuice, I will say, I'm a fan of the first movie, but not your second one.
With the B word. Nobody says a B word. All right, that's strike 1. All right, shut up.
Don't tempt me.
I will say, with 3, I enjoyed it, but I don't think 3 had such an impactful scene. Obviously, the ending, there's a lot as the bedroom scene in 2.
Yeah, I think 3 was a little bit all over the place for me. I mean, it was a little bit all over the place. It didn't have like a set 1, 2, 3. I think it was going 1 to 3 to 2 to 3. It didn't really have it was a little bit, like I said, all over the place, didn't have a pattern with what it did. Whereas in the second movie, it did. It established the girl's fear. It established, a certain pattern. And he went to exactly through that story pattern. In 3, that wasn't the case. He was a little bit all over. And I didn't like the replacement that they got for the little girl.
The demon.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I know. I didn't like the replacement that they had for the
first victim. It was the first victim.
Hold on. The replacement. Are you talking about Victoria?
Victoria, the survivor. Yeah.
So Victoria is not a replacement for the little girl. The little girl still exists in this. the demon that was the little girl possesses Victoria. Yeah. So, but okay, I can see what you mean. Like she's a replacement for the actual. Victoria was very extreme in my opinion, especially with the opening scene with the glass and stuff. But again, these movies are for shock value. You have to understand, Demon's background is a special effects artist, so that's where he started. And for before Terrifier, there's the shorts, right? The short movies you can watch them, I think, on YouTube or something.
All Hallows Eve is All Hallows Eve.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
Yeah, he did all the effects for that too, obviously, because low budget, right? When you're doing low budget like this stuff, you're wearing multiple hats.
Yeah, it was you can tell that the budget changed when the face makeup started to change. It looked a bit more.
There's a first tip if you're doing effects on a budget. All right, it's all about lighting. If you ain't got the proper lighting, then people are gonna see details and go, "Oh yeah, that shit's fake." So always having like dim lighting, hot colors, concordant colors, really helps scenes pop, and it's lo-fi by default. So you're saving money by saving money.
With the face changes, it's a different actor too, so that could be another reason why too. All Hallows Eve is not David Horton.
No, it's not
different
David
actor.
Horton. No.
Yeah.
Different makeup ensemble too.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. But and the first one I didn't mind. I watched the first one via a watch party at Stark of Iron's Discord. I had mentioned that I'd never seen the Terrifier series, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "No, I haven't seen it."
Yeah,
sit down. We're doing it. We're binge watching all of them.
There's one guy that's almost as passionate about horror movies as Nads, and that's that asshole.
But yeah, I mean, but of course, when it comes to horror films, sometimes the low budgets can make the best ones. So the budget for Terrifier, for instance, was between $35,000 to $55,000.
Yep.
And its box office overall was $421,798.
350% profit. Well,
all of these have been self-funded. These are not studio-funded movies. Even the third one. After the success of the second one, studios did approach Damon, but he's like, nope. We're gonna crowdfund. We're gonna figure this out on our own, and I think that's why the effects in these movies are so well done, because also there's care put into them as well.
Yeah, that's another thing. When you're
some of my favorite behind the scenes are just the selfies of the girls all hacked up giving a peace sign next to David.
Yeah, and the amount that was for the second one was highly substantial. It had a budget of $250,000, and the box office from that one was $15.8 million. That's a big turnaround.
Yeah, and again, self-funded. That's huge. Not having
there's
studio.
No pre-production, no post-production, none of that.
And that's basic, and it's basically fan made at that point. When you're fan funding, it's a film made straight out of love. And then of course the third one comes out, budget at $2 million, box office $90.3 million.
Yeah, I saw 2 and 3 as a double feature when I went to go see 3. My theater offered a double feature, so I sat there, watched 2, and then we went right into 3 for it. So I am excited to see what 4 turns out and the continuance of the story.
I will say this one thing about besides the gore and the shock factor that the movie lends, it also has quite the humor factor in there.
Oh, he's a troll.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
how much of a troll he is.
In the first movie, it comes across as he's a human, right? He's some kind of serial killer, mass murderer, comes back, is in a sense reborn as a demon, or at least a demon henchman. So he has there's almost a cynical sense of humor to him. It's
dark humor.
And a lot of a lot of like horror movies try to make their villains very iconic, right? One this past year, which I can't recommend because I really didn't enjoy it, was Clowns in the Cornfield. It was all right. I read the book. The book is full of TDS. Guy's got a huge TDS issue, but it is, and you could see it even throughout.
You're talking about Master of the TDS with Gothic Therapy, right? No, I'm kidding. Carry on.
No, not that kind of TDS. But yeah, I read the book, went to go see the movie. Movie's okay, but they try to make, I think it's Friendo, an icon, right? A clown, similar to Pennywise, Michael Myers, Jason. And I think Art himself has established himself amongst those villains. I even went, when I went to Halloween Horror Nights, his house was my favorite house. The Terrifier house was my absolute favorite house out of it. And each Art captured like his humor, his derangedness while we were walking through. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I gotta say, he is probably, he belongs on Mount Slashmore.
No, hey, Scooby.
I would put him above. Yeah, I would put him in Mount. It depends. It really, honestly, I think if they continue the IP as it's going, he will be established. But yeah, I think 100% that he's making his way. He's on merch. Everybody knows who he is. Even people who haven't watched the movies know that this Art the Clown.
Yeah, and what's great about his character is just like Michael Myers, he doesn't talk, and yet he still manages to bring in, and also Jason, he doesn't talk, and that brings in another fear factor because you never know what he's going to do, and it's very funny, especially with that smile. Oh my God, he's so unique.
It's all David. It's all David and his way to contort his face and be express without words. It's 100%. I would give credit to David on that.
He's got a very animated face. He really does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's that's why I put him under different. He's Art the Clown is unlike any other slasher that I've ever come across that I've seen so far.
He's able to pull off a combination of the silent antags, inability to talk, Freddy's sense of humor, all by just popping a smile on his face. Like, is really good.
The only other slasher series I would compare this to is probably The Collector, but that is a little bit more of a niche. I don't think a lot of people, that's not mainstream as Terrifier is. But we're also supposed to be getting another installment of The Collector as well, hopefully soon.
Based on how
I think they were talking about 2027, weren't they?
I think so, late 2026. Yeah. 2027.
Another thing that irked me about Dorito is how the way. I mean, I don't see how Terrifier 4 could happen because they said in order to kill Art, you had to kill the demon that was in charge that always went with him.
That's because he ate a bullet at the end of the film. Yeah.
The girl, they killed the demon, and then she takes on Art. She guts him and stuff like that, and yet he still manages to walk off away perfectly fine.
I don't think they killed the demon. They just sent it back to hell, in a sense. With Gabby, too. Gabby's in there now, too. Her niece. Right? Niece or cousin? One of the two.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Gabby, yeah, with the blade. With the blade.
With the angelic weapon. Yeah.
As long as he's got the ability, I think, demonic powers, I think he'll be... Like, Art's going to always survive. And again, he's the boogeyman. He's always going to come back. That's the part of the fear of him. Is like, you think you've cut off his head, but the next movie he's reborn, right? It's just
literally
the whole part of the whole slasher franchise.
Yeah, his head literally was chopped off in the second one.
Yep, and then reborn.
Somehow it found its way into Victoria's.
Yeah, yeah, she was certainly something. That much is for sure. And as interesting as he was, though, is we wouldn't have Art if we didn't have the classic dudes that we know so well. And
I do.
Yeah, we got to bring in Chucky. Well,
I like that your Nightmare on Elm
I got a
Street
pretty good
remake
Brad Reeve.
poster.
I just I found that so much the most satisfying Nightmare on Elm Street picture that I could find that also wouldn't get me in trouble with YouTube.
Oh, but
Really?
that's not
If you showed Robert Englund, you'd get in trouble?
Yeah, that's not Robert Englund, though. You could probably do a classic.
That's Marky Mark. Fuck that guy.
Nevertheless, it's everybody knows the picture of or at least the design. It was the design that
Mm-hmm.
it was the design that I was going for. We're not looking at England's face, I know that, but then again, you don't really need to, because in all the Nightmare on Elm Street, well, not all, but on a lot of them, they don't show his damn face in the first place, or at least not the whole face, and they're not showing whole face. So I figured, yeah.
Most of the Freddy franchise, you get Freddy's full blown look to it because they spent a lot of time on his makeup, and Robert is one of the things that he pushed for because he's sitting in a chair for that long. I could see that initially maybe shadowing the face until they introduce the character, but I'm pretty sure from what I remember of all the movies, even Wes Craven's Nightmare, that you see full on Freddy, full blown. Even Freddy versus Jason too. That makeup, actually one of my favorite makeup designs for him, the more demonic looking Freddy in that movie. Yeah. This remake, I don't like it very much. It's because I don't like the whole Kitty Diddler storyline that they tried to push throughout this remake.
In all honesty,
it's never confirmed.
Yeah, I never saw the remake. I've only seen the originals.
Well, I watched VHS Halloween the last Thursday with the channel members. And I'll be honest with you, there was that one. I'm getting this. I'm talking the same vibe, right? With the hardware store, the electronics stores. Oh God, threw up.
I saw it yesterday.
Oh yeah, so it literally the same vibe from the new Nightmare on Elm Street, like the recasting. It's just there's some things that take it too far. At all.
I did not like VHS Halloween. I think if you want to watch a Halloween movie, watch Trick or Treat or watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And the VHS franchise is very close to my heart because I worked on the second one, and I love that franchise. I even though I hate found footage and I suffered through it, and I was very disappointed with VHS Halloween. Very disappointed with it.
Yeah. That second to last story was not ideal.
I've seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I think one of my favorite ones is the first one where the girl thinks that she's killed, where she thinks in the end she thinks she's escaped Freddy, and she goes outside to meet her friends in the car. Turns out, those aren't her friends, and
Nancy.
Yeah,
that's the
Nancy,
final.
It's like you got caught, bitch. That's what I loved about that. It's like in the end, she thinks she's free. Like, no, you got caught, bitch. There's no escaping.
I can't see anybody else playing him, and I know he's getting older. I know talks of Kevin Bacon wants to take over. Walton Goggins wants to take over. I'm okay with it, honestly. Anything if we're going to get another segment into the franchise, because England can't do this forever. I actually would love to see more Freddy versus Jason, a sequel to that, but that's probably never.
Bring in Ash, like the comics, Freddy, Jason, and Ash.
Comics are great.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite crossovers was whenever Michael Myers met the Hewitts. And that was awesome. He was friends with Leather for a good hot minute, but then obviously tensions got high.
I gotta say, there are some times when it comes to horror films, though, especially slashers, you do get some of those actors that play the role so well, you can't picture anybody else doing it.
Right.
And he's one of those people where he plays the role of Freddy so well, you can't really picture anyone doing it. Also with Chucky.
Brad Dourif. Yeah. Brad Dourif. Yeah. I got to meet that guy. Real class act.
Even with Ash, with the whole Evil Dead series, Bruce Campbell. Yeah. You see anybody else? I mean, I know they've continued the franchise with side stories, with like Evil Dead Rises. I think Evil Dead Burn is coming out next year or something to that.
You can't do it
thing.
without him. Doesn't work.
But I feel similar to like, because what Beatdown there was talking about, there is a comic book series of Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, and I think that would be great if they wanted to do an animation for it, because that way the actors, it's just voice acting instead of having to put them through that stuff.
It's just voice acting, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that hard.
Yes, Beetlejuice would know.
Oh, yeah.
But I can definitely see that working. I mean, in some cases it works, some cases it doesn't. Even though it's not a slasher and it's a horror comedy, Beetlejuice, it did have its own cartoon.
Yes, it did. And I'm with Frostring. I did not like the Chucky series. The first season was okay. Afterwards, Chucky's another one that is interesting franchise where Child's Play starts off. If you watch the original, it's a horror movie. It's scary. It's not the comedic relief that you see Chucky usually used as, similar to Freddy Krueger later on in the franchise. But yeah, the first two Child's Play are pretty terrifying. At least back then, when Child's Play is probably the first horror movie I can remember watching as a kid.
Well, did you know Child's Play actually was based on Some Seed of Truth? They were inspired by this. So there was this there's this family in Florida that has this haunted doll that occasionally, and it's a benign doll. It's it's just one. Are
you talking about Robert the doll?
I don't know if I don't know the name of it, but they have this haunted doll, and they say it's a very playful one. It just runs from room to room, and that's pretty much all they ever see. But they were inspired by that little doll that is apparently haunted. I was like,
dolls freak me out. Dolls are the one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Listen. It saves you on batteries in the long run. I know batteries are getting more and more expensive these days. All you got to do is just possess a doll with a demon, and you got a toy that'll play with you for life.
I feel like a doll you can take out pretty well. I say this. Don't haunt me, dolls. I don't like dolls. I'm just not a fan of them.
Child's Play, I liked the original Child's Play, but I did not like the remake.
Oh, the remake's trash.
I hated the remake. I mean, even the doll itself, like crap.
As much as I love Tiffany, I do have to say that Cult of Chucky and Seed of Chucky and
those are rough ones.
Bride of Chucky, they're
yeah, I'll pass on those.
Yeah.
Bride of Chucky, the only reason I liked Bride of Chucky was the humor.
It was funny.
That was it. I thought it was funny, and since then I haven't watched another Chucky movie since.
Well, whenever
I heard the last movie, which the one where she's in the psych ward, wasn't too bad. That storyline before the series started. I think it's the last two movies potentially, but yeah, I liked Bride of Chucky because it was funny, and those are the movies. I was a teenager when these movies came out, loved them, but definitely Seed of Chucky, that was a rough one.
Yeah, I didn't get that one at all. I was like, what the?
You got to, it's like I was saying, it's leading up to the point I was about to make. Hollywood and the whole, let's just call it transformative phase, really hit hard with Seed of Chucky.
If you want a really creepy doll movie, they're not really dolls. Puppet Master, at least the first couple of them are pretty creepy and good. I like those. And the design of them.
Who's your favorite? I like Six Shooter.
Oh.
Six Shooter's my all-time favorite.
That's probably right around mine too.
Yeah.
I like them all. The design is great for each of them. I would love to see another installment in that franchise.
Yeah, me too.
And then you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Underrated. People never listed on lists. Underrated.
Leather.
And to be honest, remake's not that bad. Not that bad.
No.
Not the current, like the one that came out last year. That one's trash. But
the Biel one though was pretty raw. Yeah.
That's the one. That one is not too bad as an introduction to like younger but the original, I loved it. Chef Kiss.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Definitely.
I love it. They pick that guy up and he's just like, carving people with a rusty razor. Thought that was nice.
Yeah, you gotta love Leatherface. He is very underrated, and there's a lot of slasher flicks out there that are so underrated, and I think that's probably because they're slasher flicks. People think, oh, boo-hoo, they're not scary.
Oh, come on. No, understand that. Listen, just because Leather is a country singer as well, you can't. He's good at what he does. Okay, he's really good at what he does.
I would almost argue opposite, that slashers are probably the most common horror movies, especially the most common for, and I hate to use the word normies, but people who aren't like extreme into horror,
Casuals.
that get seats in the seat. Like Scream will always get people in the seats. The whole Conjuring franchise, even though I know that's more like ghosts and possessions and stuff like that, but slashers to me as a genre, I mean, you got your I Know What You Did Last Summer, you've got The Strangers, you've got X, which was another one, Pearl, and then what was it, Maxine? Like, these movies will get people's butts in the seats, and I think that's the more common genre for people.
Well, we got ourselves another fiver here, so
Orphan Zane, thank you so much for the $5.
Hey! Stop that! You're rude.
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Thank you for the scratch, though. It means a lot.
Technically, you should have been gone with how many times we've already said your name.
You know what? You really want me to pull out another gig? Because I will. you honestly think you're just gonna make me like chill the fuck out and not be professional? You're wrong.
But yeah, it's some slashers. I find they're very underrated because a lot of people just poo-hoo on them because they think, like you said, there's a lot of them. There is a lot of them, but a lot of the ones out there, their stories are very simple.
Oh yeah.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, I see somebody in the chat mention Hills Has Eyes. That's another one. That's a great one.
Love me some Wes Craven. I see Wes Craven went through this phase. It started with New Nightmare, then you had Scream dropping. So, like, he started going, hey, I need to make movies that have meta commentary on the genre that I make movies in. And so, that with New Nightmare, it was obviously another eldritch demonic entity taken from the Nightmare films and the residual fear factor that they created. But then, of course, when you get to Scream, it's a couple of collaborators going to Spirit Halloween and cutting kids up. Good stuff.
Yeah, and then of course, some people like they consider true horror films, though, films that like have actual monsters in them. Okay, like Jeepers Creepers.
I do love the Creeper. That guy's got
Jeepers Creepers. That movie creeped me out.
Really? I thought it was hilarious.
But the franchise of that's dead. The last couple of them have been completely awful to that.
The first one creeped me the hell out.
It was like the modern Pumpkinhead in a way. It was like, oh, here's a demon out here in the middle of the countryside, killing people. This one just happens to eat people. Pumpkinhead did take a few bites out of people, but he wasn't really cannibal so much.
But then amongst the low budgets, you do have the ones that are really fun.
Oh yeah, I got you.
You would know this one, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Let
me press the buttons, damn
it. Yeah, Evil Dead franchise. That's a franchise that never got old.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite franchises of all time. Army of Darkness being one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah,
the show's great. I think it got cut too soon to continue the story. The comics are great. If anybody can find the Evil Dead comics, they're awesome.
They're great.
I know I'm in the minority. I really actually did enjoy Evil Dead Rise, even though it didn't have Ash.
It was a
One of the
fresh
best-
take. It was a fresh take.
I look at it as just like a side story in the franchise, in the universe. But man, what a great title card! One of the best title cards I've ever seen.
Yeah, I gotta say, Army of Darkness was great, and however, what's interesting is it came out when it came out. It was under a different studio. So when
Mhm.
Ash versus Evil Dead came out, they couldn't use
Yeah, that's why
the
they had to
chainsaw
replace.
or the
Yeah.
metal hand or anything because it was a different studio that was doing Ash versus Evil Dead. And then, of course, you have the first two Evil Dead movies that took place under a different studio as well. But overall, they still kept the same actor, they kept the story the same, and they did a great job by doing that. Nothing really changed at all, which took mad skill. Because in the second one, you see previews and stuff like in the book. In the second one, you see a page that has him standing like that. And then, of course, Army of
The
Darkness
hail
comes
scene
along.
where they're hailing him.
Yeah, and then Army of Darkness comes along, and it's that same scene in there, and it's like, oh, they carried it over. They're sticking with the lore. That's great, and they did a damn good job of it. It was funny as hell.
Yeah.
The first Evil Dead was scary, but in a cheesy type, it was still scary. The second, though, that's when they got a little bit goofy with it,
Yeah.
but it was still it was a goofy, fucked up, scary. And then Army of Darkness came on, and it was just pure comedy horror, and I love
It's so hilarious. Like one of my favorite scenes is whenever he breaks the mirror and all of his reflections start like, Gilligan's Island, or Gallagher's Travels, I should say. Sorry, get those two mixed up. I'm 620 years dead. Get off my ass. But yeah, the London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down.
And then they stick a nail under his foot.
It's pretty good stuff,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the first two are goofy in the sense, because you have to remember at the time that these movies were released and the type of audience. A lot of
Very
us
true.
nowadays, when we go back and watch these movies, we find them funny. There's a comedic, like we find the comedy in them because of how desensitized we are of horror movies. But you got to look
Yes.
at it, the audience, when these were first released, these were terrifying to them.
Yeah, when the first one came out, it was definitely more on the horror side, and it came off as that, but it did have its funny moments. One of which, like I told Sons and Shadows on Deadwire, that one of my favorite funny moments actually reminded me of Austin Powers, in which his girlfriend, who got possessed and caused him to, unfortunately, had to cut her up into pieces. I found it reminded me of Austin Powers because no matter what he did, she was still alive. She was still talking. And I think of Austin Powers in the scene where he gets knocked out of a window fighting a woman, and he just like in the middle screams, "Why won't you die?" Because of all the things he'd done to her, would have already killed a person.
Well, before we go any further, thank you, Blaze2K. He says with a very generous
Yes.
£2 super chat, he says, slasher is seeing a resurgence of late. I agree. And so does this guy.
Yes.
It's
Mainly
because of
because
millennials.
it's his fault. It's his fault.
It's actually because of millennials. It's because millennials, we are the biggest marketing demographic, and millennials grew up with slashers, and Gen Z and the younger generations don't have they have the TikTok time. Not saying everybody, so if you're Gen Z and they're calm down, but most of them don't have the attention span to sit there to watch movies. I mean, I go to theaters, I see young kids, they're still on their phones and stuff, but millennials, this is the stuff, before the internet, VHSs, DVDs, we have to go rent. A lot of it was slasher movies throughout the 90s and 2000s. So that's why I'm seeing a huge resurgence of it, because they're trying to market it towards them.
Yeah, it's a good way to get people back into the theater seats, because I think a lot of people are just getting really sick of some of the same old stuff that's coming out.
I would recommend horror. Mostly you want to watch it when it's like, I love independent horror, Good Boy, all the movies that have made it to theaters. That's great. Go see them. It's how we support them. But I find more of the indie stuff that goes straight to streaming, unfortunately, tends to be better than mainstream. I've actually been really disappointed this entire year with horror.
It
With
has
all the
been a
mainstream
slow year.
movies.
It's been a
Yeah.
slow
Yes.
year. Yeah.
Nowadays, though, it seems like nowadays every movie that's made has to go to big screen instead of straight to streaming, unless it's like a Netflix film or something. And I think that's Hollywood's way of saying we still got to keep these theaters, keep them going. And the only way to do so is to put movies out there.
Well, there's more theaters than there are bulldozers to tear them down when they, bankrupt.
Yeah.
You could say that about basically all genres with the movie industry, how it's
Yeah.
been in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
But horror especially, it's just last year was great. Some really great horror movies last year. This year, I can't really say that. I mean, I've enjoyed a couple of them, but I can't say they're my favorite out of them. I think 2024 had a better year as opposed to this year. I mean, I know everybody loves Sinners. I think Sinners is a beautiful movie, but
I
I haven't reached back to watch it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's one of the best storytelling movies. The vampires are a little lacklusting towards the third act, but it's a great period piece. Weapons, that was fun the first time. I don't think it really has rewatch value on it. Yeah, I'm looking at the 2025 list, and I can't say there's one that I have thoroughly enjoyed throughout this. Together, that's probably the only one.
One that I haven't seen, but I'm very curious about, is Good Boy.
Good Boy was actually quite fun. We might be playing that one next Thursday.
I know it's about a dog, but
it's about a dog that sees some shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna course correct myself. Bring Her Back was one of my favorites this year. That was one of my favorites.
Bring Her Back was pretty good.
Yeah, and Together.
Those
are my top two right now.
I also really didn't get the concept behind Smile. I really didn't.
Well, it was just
Smiles last year, though.
Yeah, Cronenberg. Yeah. That was last year's Cronenberg film.
Yeah, I know, but like overall,
not made by Cronenberg, but Cronenberg.
Smile 1 is great. Smile 1 is fantastic as an indie horror film. It surprised me. Smile 2 is the same story, just on a bigger budget. So save your time, save your money, just watch the original. But they're continuing the franchise in comics, so I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
Good to see you, Sonia. Hopefully life's treating you well.
But yeah. Oh man, I'm so tempted to pull up the picture of Terrifier again now that Sonia's here. But anyways.
Well, that's okay. I tell you what, just her being here is like a super chat. Here you go.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, how's it going?
But if it's one person that not one person, if it is indie studios can do horror very well.
Oh yeah.
Because they're working hard with what budget they have, and they got to do the impressions. So
well, they don't have network execs. They don't have execs leaning over them, going, "Hey, you need to do it like this and like this and like this."
Well, yeah, that is also
they blah blah blah.
Well, not only that is they want to make an impression, so they're going to try super, super hard. And for them, since they're an indie studio and they don't have a lot, that means they have something to push by. So it's going to be a labor of love for them. So they're going to put their all into it. And that's when a lot of these indie movies that come out turn out pretty good, like Evil Dead, Terrifier. I mean, indie movies they shouldn't be snubbed. That much is for sure. They shouldn't be looked down upon or be considered underrated anyways. I mean, yeah, you're going to have your crappy underrated ones, but, they're
but
really
I
good.
feel that concept is more so from mainstream viewers.
Right.
I think the horror community in general props up more indie horror films than the mainstream. At least from what I've seen in the last couple of years, and the people I've talked to, I think mainstream watchers, yes, they look down on horror. Horror has always been a genre that people kind of just brush aside instead of seeing that there's actual good storytelling. I mean, look at The Substance last year. That was great.
Right.
Commentary on women's beauty and the expectations, not only in Hollywood, but in general, in life in general, and the fears that women go through about aging. I think every woman can relate to that movie, no matter what your age is. And
Yeah.
it's great storytelling. Nosferatu, great retelling of the classic.
Yes.
You
one of
actually
the
like
most
that
beautiful
movie?
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was some pacing issues with it, but that's just me.
Yeah, that was a very good one.
And but I think mainstream, because to me mainstream horror movies are more so, and I don't mean to knock it because I go see them
Right,
too, but like the Conjuring and the Insidious franchise, those to me are like horror popcorn flicks where people who aren't into horror movies, who maybe don't like horror movies, will at least go see these because they're so mainstream and they're jump scares, right? They rely mostly on the jump scares. Now, the first Conjuring's great. It still scares me to this day. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the best in the franchise. First Insidious is great as well. Past that point, I think it goes downhill very
Yeah,
very
I think
fast.
I think the second Conjuring left much to be desired.
Yeah, and Conjuring Last Rites was
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
Right.
but it's very like, it's spooky season, let's go see Patrick Wilson in theaters, and Conjuring is like pop culture references. You see it all the time, even if you haven't seen those movies. So I think those are easy to digest for mainstream audiences, where, like I said, horror communities prop up the more indie stuff.
Like The Nun, that one was actually very lackluster in my opinion.
Yes,
Yes.
both of them
Yes.
very lackluster in it. But if you're not used to watching horror movies, you go see these movies, you're going to have a good time with it because of the jump scares.
Right.
And these movies are, I think, better spent watching with groups, right? Like I can watch The Substance on my own and really enjoy it, but something like The Conjuring, I would rather watch it with a group of people or my husband, because I think the group setting and bouncing off each other helps with those movies.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of more mainstream, the mainstream also, they're a bit more creepy than they are scary. They go for the creepy factor in some cases. Like you said with The Conjuring, that one's scary, but it's not scary, but it is a solid horror flick. It lands in what it needs to do. But these, though not slasher, these are more along the lines of possession and exorcism and stuff. And those ones, if you're not a slasher person, but you actually go for the more mainstream creeped out, you want to be scared because of something. This one definitely creeps. These definitely type of creep me out because I do believe in certain aspects of these films, like possession and stuff. I do believe that such a thing is possible. So movies with demons or exorcisms and things like that in that, they do get under my skin. They cause that moment for me.
Well, I gotta say, you don't make a mainstream horror series until you've had a movie in space. And you want to talk about some of the worst crap ever, seeing an old Victorian house sitting on a floating rock in the middle of the void and having a bunch of space cadets go in there and get killed by it. Just throwing that out there. Jason X, I can believe it. Ish. Leprechaun, believe
Leprechaun's great. I love that
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, that one's good.
He's one of my favorites.
What the hell? What
The Leprechaun,
the hell?
the Leprechaun, though, it went from scary to goofy real fast.
I mean,
Similar to
critters
a lot
come
of the
from
franchise,
space.
yeah.
So the titular Critters in Space episode, which, by the way, one of Brad Dourif's other really good roles was in that.
I gotta say though, Gremlins is one of those It was one of those horror movies where there were times where I wanted to yell at the screen. Just because of some of the things that the character was doing, it's like
Oh yeah.
you were told not to get these things wet because, for such and such reason. And what does he do? He takes the main evil gremlin, takes it to a swimming pool and tosses it in the pool. It's like, you freaking moron! You know you're not supposed to get them wet. And it's like, next thing you know, the entire town is filled with freaking gremlins everywhere. And it's like, oh my God, you dumbass, you just made things worse.
Gremlins to me is more of a Christmas movie. I don't know.
It
I'm just
is,
weird
but
like that. Yeah.
it's a more of a Christmas thing, but it's more of a Christmas thing, but it has the monster movie creepy aspect. But it's one of those movies that just makes you scream at the screen, and all because of one stupid ass character making the dumbest decisions. And it's like you got a Furby chasing after a naked Furby that's causing horror amongst everyone, you know. And Critters was actually kind of funny, in my opinion.
Critters are
Yeah.
great. I love me some Krites. You know, if you're having a bit of a colonist problem, the best way to deal with invading alien life forms on your planet is to introduce cannibalistic, hungry alien invading life forms to it. So,
Like
Let's
the one
run it
scene
up.
where, like the one scene where these two critters were knocking on a guy's door. A guy sees it, shuts the door. One turns to the other. He's got a weapon. The other one. So what? Guy pulls out the weapon, shoots the other dude. The other one, fuck, runs off.
I will say, possession movies are probably my second favorite genre in horror.
Yes.
I absolutely love possession movies. The Exorcist being probably one of my all-time favorite movies. To me, the top 3 horror movies for me are The Thing, and that is actually my number 1 favorite movie.
Yeah.
Alien and The Exorcist. Probably those are in Alien and The Exorcist probably back and forth. But with possession movies, there are some unrated gems, and I highly recommend Possession. It has a very young Sam Neill in it. I did a double feature with that with the new Omen, which was the first Omen, which I think a lot of people did not watch because they were like, oh, it's just another in the no, it's actually very good.
I loved that Omen.
And
the
first Omen takes a lot of liberties from Possession. So I highly recommend that. Exorcism of Emily Rose, that's a great one too. The Exorcist 3 is great too, as well. That's another great movie. Yeah, possession movies are like my jam. I really enjoy them. Evil Lurks, which came out a couple years back. That's an Argentina horror movie. It's very good. Highly recommend it.
The first Exorcist movie, when I saw it, I was like so thoroughly freaked out that I never saw it again. I was like, nope. I couldn't sleep for a good couple of days. I was like, and I was like, no way, I can't. It left that much of an impression. The Conjuring, not so much, but it did leave my skin crawling in certain parts. Like there were certain parts in the movie that just kind of left chills and put you on edge. So I think they did a good job with that. Yeah, and Alien, I have to agree. Alien is an awesome movie. It's definitely it's unique, and I think the first Alien is probably scarier than the second one because the second one they turned it more into an action.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I liked about the second one, though, I loved the second one just as much as I loved the first one, though, because there was more of them, and you saw just how bad. And if you see the director's cut, you see just how fast things can escalate.
It's similar with the Terminator series. The first one's more of a horror movie, like a stalker, where the second one is a action movie. Both are beloved for different reasons, but it's very similar.
Yeah, and in the first one, it's not only because it's a stalker, but also in the first one, once you see his actual metal frame, just the metal frame only coming right after her, that's freaky. I mean,
Yep.
that was really freaky.
That was damn good
Especially
stop
with
motion.
the glowing red eyes and everything. It's like, I'm sorry, that's freaky. Even when the thing gets blown up, it's still coming after her. It was programmed to kill, and it almost killed her. And it was like, oh my God. I mean, that movie was freaky. And then you have Annabelle, which was pretty decent. It was okay. I had mixed feelings on that one. I don't know about you. I know the other ones.
Well, I mean, you got to remember what it's based off of. You know, we got a weird married couple that likes to collect supernatural crap. Obviously, shit's gonna happen. So
there's only one I really enjoy out of the Annabelle series, and I can't remember which one it was, but it's the more, I think, where they're in the apartment complex, not so much on the farm.
That's this one.
Remember, is that one?
Yeah, it's the first one.
That one's all right. That's I don't like the Annabelle series. Again, I think it's based solely on jump scares. This whole it's similar to, because it's a break off of, I think, the Insidious or Conjuring series.
It's a break off of the Conjuring series.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Ed and Lorraine Warren and such.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it just relies too heavily on the jump scare aspect.
Mm-hmm. And somebody asked me a question in the chat. Yes. Lilith, Scooby Pup, are you afraid of demons? I was raised Catholic, so yes. Do I believe
she collaborates with one of them.
Do I actually believe they exist? I believe that it's highly probable. So yes, I guess you could say yes. I do believe in it. So
she'll be working with a demon real soon.
So yeah, that's why certain movies, like certain possession movies, they do. That's why certain possession movies do get to me a bit, because they hit a little close to home to personal beliefs. So when a movie is like that, that's when it becomes an actual true horror film to me. I don't know if there's any movie that's hit you like that, Nadia.
Possession movies, yeah, with demons, because I'm Catholic, so, and I believe in that kind of stuff. I believe in that things can happen to an extent to that. I'm trying to think of anything that's probably anything that deals with like the afterlife, like last year Heretic, which I think was an underrated gem that really got under my skin, and there's no gore in that one. Highly recommend that one. And I can't think of any. I've watched so many classic horror movies so much that nothing's really gotten under my skin in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's why the Conjuring and The Exorcist, that's why they got to me a little bit when it came to the exorcism scenes, because they did so well with making them look so demonic and evil that it was kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna scoot back into my seat to the point where I'm almost blending with it. It's like when I see it. It's like when I see a spider, my eyes go wide, and I'm like, "What the?" And I just kind of like freeze.
I don't do spider movies. I've never seen any spider movie. Never seen Arachnophobia. I refuse to. Never.
Oh, hey! You guys are gonna have to knuckle down, because if you're members in my Discord, we are watching spider movies at some point. It's happening.
Nope.
Listen, Kingdom of the Spiders, Arachnophobia, Eight-Legged Freaks.
Nope.
Is going to happen.
It is one of the goals for my charity stream next weekend that I will watch a spider movie if we hit it, but it is pretty high up on the goal list. So
you know what? I will shill the ever-living crap out of that.
No, believe me, it is a high up. That I will it gets under my skin. I can't do spiders.
Same here. I have a severe case.
Bunch of weenies.
Before we continue, actually, I have a severe case of arachnophobia, and I mean a severe. If I see a spider, it can be across the room. If I see it, I will freeze where I am and just immediately, I will not enter the room. I will call for someone to come kill it, and then I will enter. But the moment I see one, I'll freak out. And in high school, I had some friends. We were having a movie night at my house, and we went to Blockbuster, and we each picked out a movie, and they decided to prank me. Oh yes, James Up.
You want to read it or shall I?
I'll read it. James Opp sends a $5 super chat with, I was young when The Exorcist came out. I don't think I watched another horror. Well, 1982, The Poltergeist. I was working with the theater, had no other choice. Poltergeist.
There you go. You gooner.
Arachnophobia. So they decided to put a prank on me. We were going to put their movie in. I wasn't paying attention to the title because we had the lights off. So they just gave me the VHS. I went over to the VCR. I was on autopilot. I was used to it. Just put it right in. Didn't even bother looking at what was on the VHS disc. It starts. It was Arachnophobia. I was like, are you kidding me? They thought it was funny as hell. I was not allowed to leave the room. They would not let me leave the damn room. I was like, I hate you guys. I hate you.
Bitsy spider got in this chick's hair. Crawling all around and giving them quite a scare.
But I am with Nadia. I will not watch a spider movie. It doesn't. Even if it's Eight-Legged Freaks, which I've heard is the cheesiest type.
It's so hilarious. No. Eight-Legged Freaks is hilarious.
I will not watch it. No.
We're going to have to surprise you one night. We'll be like, oh, nope. Guess what time it is? Well, halfway through the film,
Nope.
Yeah. The counter to Eight-Legged Freaks is similar as the Tremors franchise. That's
Tremors. Funny. Oh my god. Yeah. Yes. Graboids, baby. Graboids.
Tremors. That's a great series. I loved that one. That was actually very funny. And anybody out there who hasn't seen Tremors, stop what you're doing right now and go see it. It is funny as hell, and it is a great watch.
Whenever you have tongues that basically are just three snakes. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it was like a souped up version. It was a souped up cousin to Aliens, I guess. Oh, Aliens, they open up their mouth, another mouth comes out. Tremors, they open up their mouth, 3 come out. It was like
they were all like, bruh.
They were all like, we're coming after you, bitch. But they were blind.
Well, kids, I believe we've covered just about everything, but I wanted to answer some questions in the chat, if you don't mind. I think this was the one that Blaze2K asked. He asked, what do you guys think about the Wishmaster series? I personally like the first one, the other two, not so much. But what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I have never seen Wishmaster.
1997.
Yeah.
In a while.
I've heard
3 or 4 movies.
I heard good things about it. I know one movie that, and even though it's not a possession flick and it's not a slasher flick, one movie that I need to see again, or at least I need to see the new version of. I've seen the original, but I've not seen the new version that everybody tells me to see. House of Wax.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you the original. Well, the remake's okay. It's okay. It was part of that whole 90s remake of Friday the 13th, My Bloody Valentine in House of Wax. It's all right. It has Paris Hilton in it. I don't think there's like much substance to it, but it's a pretty obvious story. Like you'll pick up on the ending pretty fast. Wishmaster is great. Do a double feature of Wishmaster and Warlock. Do double feature.
Ooh,
back to back.
That sounds like a member movie night. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Wishmaster. But I've been told to watch it. Another horror film, and it's this horror movie I saw, but I absolutely hate because it gave me a fear of clowns, and that was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, come on.
Really?
God.
I think it's a funny movie. I think it's
Yeah,
cute.
it's a great
I was
story.
hey,
I
I was
recently
9
saw it
years
for the first time last year, so
I
like I've seen it as
love
an
it.
adult versus you seen it as a kid.
I was 9 years old, and
Come
my
on.
uncle forced me to watch it. And since then, I have hated clowns. They scare the crap out of me.
Clowns
How
are
can you
creepy.
be-
Clowns are very
No,
common.
they're
used
not.
in
You guys are. No, my lord.
Art the Clown, Pennywise. We got Friendo.
Pennywise,
ton
oh
of
my
them.
God, he's another iconic clown.
There was that one ice cream clown from Ice Cream. That was pretty
Mm.
funny.
It's not Art's not the only iconic clown. Pennywise is another one. Pennywise is awesome. As far as it goes, I think the original. The new one, not so much. I mean, what do you think, Nadia? Do you think which one do you think is better, original or new?
So the original terrified me as a kid when I saw the original miniseries. I think it's good. The newer ones, Chapter 1 is very good. I think Chapter 1 is very good, comparable to the book. Chapter 2, I think, is where it fell off. Wanted a little bit more with the adults and their story. I think they just tried to pack too much into two. They honestly probably should have just split this into a trilogy and did 3 movies for it.
And as far as it goes, I also prefer the Tim Curry Pennywise.
Tim Curry's Pennywise is pretty creepy. I do like Skarsgård. I think Skarsgård does a really great job. I was really looking forward to Welcome to Derry, but after Stephen King opened his mouth about Kirk, I'm a big Stephen King head, or was. I've got tons of first editions. My godmother was part of his original fan club. I've read his books since I was very little. I'm packing them all away. I'm not covering anything Stephen King on my channel because of his dumbass comments. Sorry for swearing again. So
That's okay.
Hey! Just as long as you don't say the following words, and repeat after me if you know them. Shit. And of course, everybody's favorite.
I want to get your opinion on this, Nadia, because I'm at a loss whenever I see this movie.
Yeah.
The Shining.
Oh yeah.
I love the
Do you consider that? What the hell do you think happened to the father? Do you think he was possessed, or do you think he just went insane, or what?
So, all right.
I think he went insane.
Yes, there's a great documentary about The Shining. I can't. What is it that I would recommend that might help? The Shining. Let me look it up. Room 237. Kubrick took a lot of liberties with The Shining. If you actually read the book, it's a story of a man who's being an alcoholic and going through recovery, and then basically slipping off the wagon again and stuff. King hated the original Shining King. I think it's a master in storytelling. I think it's beautiful. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. I think Kubrick really put a lot of time and soul into that movie. Stephen King himself, later on, a couple of years later, in the 90s, did a mini series of The Shining where he wrote and directed it. I believe. I'm pretty sure he directed it. But it's horrible, and it's pretty close to what how the book was written. And I think The Shining, I think he's going crazy. I think there's a lot of elements into that. A lot of everybody can interpret a different thing. But one thing I want to highlight is Dr. Sleep, which is a sequel to the book, but also a sequel to the movies. And I love Mike Flanagan. I think he did a great job combining both the book sequel and Kubrick's movie together to give us one of the best villains on screen, Rose the Hat. She's great. One of the most terrifying scenes on screen too, where the kid is being pulled apart by the I guess gypsies is the easiest way to term, but yeah, I really enjoy Shining. I think it's one of the best. I think, and it's used in many film courses throughout
Yeah, the
universities.
reason I asked is because, there's not just the instance of him going, mental to the point where it makes you wonder if he's possessed, because each family member experiences something in the house. Like the little boy, he sees the twins, even the wife has a few experiences herself. So it makes you wonder, did the house possess him? Did he go insane? It leaves you with so many questions, in my
I think
opinion.
because I don't believe Wendy ever saw anything. I think because from what I remember correctly, I think it's him in a sense. It's a way to tell the story of alcoholism in the trials and errors that people go through with recovery for it.
Mhm.
It could be one aspect of it. Danny himself, it's known in Stephen King's writing, and he had a universe before Marvel had a universe. Okay,
Yeah.
people have the Shining, which is their ability. They call it different things throughout the books, but everybody, like the kids for it, all had the Shining in some way. It's different levels of it, but yeah, I like The Shining. I think it's great, but I really recommend, if you are a fan of that movie, watch the documentary. I think it's on Tubi,
Yes.
Room 237.
Okay, so it's room tour. Okay, I wrote it down. But yeah, it's definitely a great movie. Everybody in chat, watch The Shining. It is a really, really, really good movie. It's not one of those ones that has jump scares or anything, but it is. You will get, you will get, you will get drawn into the movie. You won't get bored. It is definitely
I
that
also
much.
recommend watching it during the winter time. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it's considered a horror movie. I think it's more psychological horror, right? But
Mhm.
to me, the atmosphere of the Overlook Hotel fits better when it's cold outside. If you live in a snowy area, it's just it helps with the overall experience. So I usually watch it during, I hate to say it, but like Christmas season when it's the
Yeah,
coldest.
and when you call it a psychological thriller, then the only other psychological thriller that I can think of that I absolutely adore, and that one's Carrie.
Well,
Carrie's great. Mike Flanagan's, I think, doing a Amazon TV series for it, bringing it
Ooh.
back. Another one that has suffered poor installments into it, but the book is, I hate to say this, the movie's great. I like it, but the book is way better.
Yeah, I like the original, but I can't say the same for the remakes. I don't like the remakes that much, is for sure.
I trust Flanagan as much as I am not a King fan right now. He has a love for King's writing. I think King should probably go back to doing drugs. Nope, I don't recommend anybody do drugs.
hey.
Some of his best books, except for my first Stephen King book, was Tommy Knockers. And if anybody's read Stephen King, you know that is not a book to give to a middle schooler.
They don't give time. I'd rather give misery to a middle schooler.
Ooh, Misery's great. That's another
Yeah, that's a
great
good one.
movie. That's another great
Yeah.
movie. That's a psychological thriller.
Well, it has been awesome having you on, Nadia. I'm so glad I got to have you on, especially this time of month.
Everybody cue the applause track. It was real awesome to actually get to talk a little bit about my favorite genre of movies, and by that I mean the guys whose hands literally stuck up my ass. So,
But yeah, it was awesome having you on here. I'm so glad you actually made the time to do it too. I'm really,
Oh yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad I was able to make it. This month it's obviously really busy for me. But thank you for. I love talking about these movies. This franchise. This is what I grew up with. This is near and dear to my heart. I worked in Hollywood for so long, doing special effects makeup and working on movies. That, yeah, this is my jam. I love it. So thank you for having me on.
No
Now,
problem.
one thing I would like to mention, we did miss a few genres, but I want to acknowledge them because there's just so many subgenres of horror. We really can
There are.
90 minutes. Finch King, possessed cars. It's subgenre
Maximum
of the possession.
Overdrive.
Yeah, no, I like the car. All right, if we're going to talk about possessed cars, we got to go with the classic, the car. Christine, little overplayed, little too seasonal. The cars,
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah,
man,
but Maximum
that's
Overdrive.
my drive.
I heard that the machine was cussing me out. The ATM was.
I've never seen Maximum Overdrive.
It
I'm gonna have
is
to show you that one
Stephen
too,
King
yeah.
directed and written, and it's horrible, but in a good way.
And we also didn't really touch it too much into Cronenberg. We didn't do a lot of the body
The
horror
Fly.
stuff, like The Fly, or we did mention The Thing in hindsight, but in my opinion, The Thing, I agree with you, Nads, and so does my good friend Snow. The Thing is a 10 out of 10 perfect film.
It is.
It
It is
to
really
end.
good.
Beginning
It's
to
one
end.
of those. It's
Yeah.
one of those films where it's one of those films where it's like you can't trust anyone.
We didn't cover zombies. That's fine. Everybody covers zombies. And
I'm
we
not a
didn't cover the
huge-
classic Universal
Well,
monster line or kaiju. But then again, this is Scooby Pup. She's all about the kaiju. So
Yeah. No, we covered.
I'm not a huge zombie person, to be I mean, I love the original Romero films. Tom Savini, he's the godfather of special effects. I followed his career very closely. But I'm not huge. Like zombies, to me, it's not a scary thing.
Mhm.
I don't know why. It just doesn't hit the marks for me. Body horror, I'm very picky about. I don't like grotesque body horror, like very over the done, like trauma films. That. But I'm very picky. The
Human
Fly is one of my
Centipede
favorite
is
movies.
torture prawn. That's different. That's like
Yeah.
Hostel, and it's not really body horror. It's just body horror in that genre. You want to talk about bridging gaps? You would Tusk. Or,
But torture.
Can't do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
slasher films, they can be fun to watch because it's interesting how everybody takes it. To what extremes, and their own little versions of slasher, and possession films are also good because there's many different interpretations you can take them.
Well, slasher films are also a whodunit film. So a lot of
Yes.
people like them because you're trying to figure out who the killer is. 9 out of 10 times you can figure it out. Tom was originally based on Tom Savini. I think he wanted a practical effects artist before Jason fucked himself. Yeah.
Well, 9 out of the 10 you can, 10 times you can, but I mean, like, I gotta admit, when I watched Scream 2, every time I thought somebody was the killer, I was freaking wrong. I was like, this person has to be the killer. Next thing you know, boom, they're dead. Damn it. Okay, it must have been this person. Boom, they're dead. Damn it. I was so bad at it. I mean, like when it comes to movies like that, yeah, it makes you wonder. Even in My Bloody Valentine, when I watched it, I said, oh, I bet this person's the killer. I bet you anything this person is the killer. I was wrong.
She was guessing it. I think it was last week. We were watching My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, and same thing with Happy Death Day. I kept on saying, oh, I bet it. I bet so and so is. I bet so and so is the. I bet so and so is the killer. I bet so and so is the killer. And then when he gets killed, you realize, okay, yeah, I'm wrong. I have a bad track record.
That's Groundhog Day done right.
Happy Death Day my husband enjoys, and he's not big into horror films, but he does like Happy Death Day. That's Christopher Landon, who was actually supposed to direct Scream 7, but he left the project. So unfortunately, I was pretty excited to see what he would have done with the franchise.
That would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're right. Slasher films are kind of whodunits, and in a case they're not just whodunits, but why?
Yeah. Yeah, and the Scream franchise definitely gets a little ridiculous, but again, it's my favorite franchise. Every year I buy a new Scream mask. It's Ghostface is one of my favorite slasher villains. And again, I know the later installment of it does get a lot of heat, but I will be definitely seated for 7.
The appeal of Ghostface is he's an alias, and it's usually multiple collaborators. It's more of the symbol, the representation of somebody that's trying to pay homage to slasher movies to cover up for their own sick revenge stories.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Ghostface. He's
like
very,
in the first
grounded.
Like in the first Scream movie, you had for Ghostface, everybody thought it was just one killer. But no, it was 2.
Yeah. Well, and also with the first Scream movie, I mean, I know it's been done before with even with Psycho, but having Drew Barrymore be marketed as the lead in the movie because she was the biggest star at the time, and to
Yeah.
have her killed within the first few minutes of the movie, that was a big twist for the audience.
Yeah.
It's done now, like people have done it, repeated it, but I don't think it's ever been as impactful since the first Scream, prior
Yeah.
to it being Psycho.
Yeah, and then of course, Psycho, one of the best, the original I consider is pretty much the best out of, I mean, the remake isn't that bad with Anne Hesh. The remake it's not that bad. I'll say that much. But I definitely prefer the original. And possession films, like those are hit or miss for me. I mean, there are a lot of them out there, but a lot of them are hit or miss as well.
Right.
But
Well,
yes, it's been great having you on here, sweetie. I really, really, really hope that we can do so again in the future.
Oh yeah, I would love to come back on, talk about more movies and stuff like that. So yeah,
yeah,
anytime.
we can actually cover, the Cronenbergs and possessed cars and everything
we
that
could,
we didn't get to today.
We could even do a rough view, which is basically when I review movies and review a movie instead of just cover multiple ones. So
Oh, okay, yeah. If you have a horror movie in mind, just message me. I'm totally game.
Yeah, I'm pretty much
The guy whose hand is up my ass, he just won't shut up. Shut up! You shut up! Can I talk, please? No! He wants to be like a guest on your show sometime in the future. He's a big fan.
But anyways, yeah, just just send me what when you're available. If you want to do one this month, just let me know when you're available and we can work something out.
I will check my schedule on Monday. Usually I don't stream on the weekends, unless it's like a one-off that I do for gaming or something. But I will let you know Monday if I have anything available. I'm a guest on quite a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing about the reviews, though. The reviews, those are more premiere videos. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah, so they can be done
at any time, and then she just releases them when it's convenient. So
okay,
she'll work with your schedule.
The one I did with the Conjuring, that one I did with That Darn Kitty. Next Wednesday, I am doing Conjuring 2 with the Gourd King, and he wants to do that one live, so we're going to do it live. But next Wednesday, he and I are going to do the Conjuring 2 along with doing a follow-up on the first Conjuring because he wanted to have his own little say in it. And I'm going to be doing one on Carrie with Sons and Shadows. So yeah, just let me know whenever you're available.
Okay.
But it was awesome having you here. I really, really hope to have you on future dates as well. Anything you got? So outros. Anything you got coming up, sweetie?
Yes. So next Saturday, I'll be streaming for 8 hours straight. I'll be doing a charity stream for a nonprofit that's very close to my heart. I've got a bunch of content creators that will be coming in and out. I have games. We'll talk about horror. We'll talk about movies. We're just pretty much to keep going for the 8 hours. I'll have things I'll raffle off if we hit different tier goals for it. And there'll be more information coming out soon. But that will be next Saturday, starting at 12 Pacific on my channel.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else other than the charity stream?
Normal Horror Tuesday. Usually I go live on Tuesdays for horror news. This coming week, I'm probably going to be doing it on Wednesday as I'm back to back on guest streams on Tuesday. And then, that's normally my weekly show for it.
Okay. Awesome. B-Man, what you got going on?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Zalosi. I was grabbing a link. What have I got coming up? Well, let's see here. Hold on. Let me grab the. Here. No, that's Bill. eviction notice. Oh, Bill. Here we go. All right. So, we're going to be having all week next week, starting at Monday. I'm happy to announce that the Stark of Iron channel has hit 2,580 subscribers. So that means we are going to have not one, not two, but 5 8-hour Stark parties starting at 5 p.m., ending at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all next week. The Ginger Files will be converted into a Stark Party variant. And of course, we will be doing a lot of fun and hijinks and panel shenaniganery for the next week and a half. Thank you very much. Be sure to check me out. I got a lot more. I really do. Thank you, Zalosi. Thank you. Yeah. So other than that, I would definitely love to swing by and probably do a guest gig on the charity stream earlier that afternoon on Saturday, if possible. You can also find this dipshit. Hey, yeah, you dipshit. Come on, man. Shut up. You can also find him hanging out with Benzo with his hand up Alf's ass on Cotton Council, which will happen tonight, and starting at 7:30 tonight, like literally 45 minutes after this show. Scooby's going to show you a dark side. She's going to show you the side where she gets on here and she makes fun of this clown. And it's real easy to do, ain't it? You know I'm right. Scooby, tell him no, you can't page right. He sucks. He sucks ass.
I'll save that for when he actually does the stream.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up and at 7:30. So here in about 45 minutes. We don't have the stream set up yet, but we got to get something to eat first. And this cockroach on 12 looks delicious. Other than that, be sure to check us out on Enzo as well. And I think he's going to be hanging out in other news with Sammy 3-Pete in the near future. So with that, we're done.
As for me, guys, so tomorrow I will be tomorrow on Sammy 3-Pete's in other news. Tomorrow is his birthday stream, so I will be popping on to say hello. And also, guys, go pop in and say hello to his stream as well. Give him a little wave and a heads up and such. So be sure to check him out. Wednesday, I will be doing a SCOOBYPUP'S Refuse at 2 p.m. Eastern live with the Gourd King. We will be doing The Conjuring 2 as well as a follow-up to the first one, and we'll be doing a little comparison here and there to each movie. As well as on Saturday, I will be doing for next Saturday's SCOOBYPUP'S PAWCAST at 5 p.m. Eastern. I will have Hold My DualShocks. And can't wait to have them on. It's going to be a fun time then. And I promise, guys, during this week, I will be getting back to my gameplay on Silent Hill F because I know you guys liked hearing me scream into the mic last time I played it. So
it's pretty funny.
Oh, shut up. So also keep an eye on Twitter, guys. That's where I make most of my announcements. I will start making announcements on YouTube again. Please like, subscribe, comment, become a member if you want. We are monetized now.
Speaking of which, we did pick up, as of this notice stop today, 15 new members. Thank you, James OP. And
yes, thank you so much.
Very cool.
Thank you to all of those, and I mean all of those who donated for super chats and memberships. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. They do not go unloved. Thank you very much. I do this, guys, for you. I do this. I do all of this for you guys, and I wouldn't be where I am without you. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. I hope to see you on the Rough Views, which are going to be more frequent. I hope to see you for the next podcast, and I hope to see you guys for the Barcade, which I do normally around 2 in the afternoon. So keep an eye on Twitter for that. I will make the announcements whenever I can. Later on tonight, I will be putting up Nadia's info on Twitter for all her links and stuff. So be sure to, if you want to catch her stuff, check it out. Nadia, it was an absolute pleasure. And until next, shut up. And you know what?
What?
Beetlejuice.
Ah, no!
Thank you for having me on, Scooby. And everybody, stay spooky.
Yes, thank you. You guys have a great night.